Hey everybody, welcome to the channel. I'm Cindy Daychuck with Queen Bee Creations, and today we're kind of doing something for me in the sense that often, with all of the IOD releases and new products coming in, I don't get tons of time to play with everything. The store is busy, I'm filming videos, I try and incorporate them into videos, but I'm trying to give you crafts and ideas that don't involve you're having to purchase, extraneous materials. And life is busy. I'm sure your life is the same. But I love the winter adornment stamp, and I haven't had a chance to play with it. It was still in its packaging. So I decided that I needed to do something with this. I'm looking around. I'm not focusing on you guys. I'm looking around going, do I have any sandpaper of anything around here? And I'm just kind of feeling, no, I don't have any sandpaper pads. So I'm going to have to go get that. But I wanted to do something with the winter adornment stamp, which is great for doing winter related things. Sorry. And it does wreaths. It's got the stamping pieces to it, and I may have to use some masks. I don't know yet, so we'll see. But here's what I want to do. I've shown you guys how to use the pyrography pen. So the pen that you just draw and then use your heat gun and it burns kind of that pattern into wood. What I actually haven't done is real wood burning. And I have that tool. All I've used this for, and what I bought it for, was just to cut the plastic mesh for some of my wreath making. So I feel a little guilty that that's all I've ever done with it. So we're dealing with the guilt of not using my winter adornment stamp, and we're combining it with the guilt of not using my wood burning tool for anything beyond cutting some mesh with it. And we're just gonna play on a wooden cutting board. So my thinking is this: I am going to get these lightly sanded. Because they're brand new, you want to just lightly sand the top to give it a little bit of what they call tooth, but just a little bit of texture to grip the ink with. And I'm gonna lay out a design here that ultimately is going to be my guide for wood burning. I've never wood burned before. I don't know if it's easy or difficult. I don't know if I can do it. I don't know if this is going to be way too busy as a thing to start. I should have just started with straight lines. You know what? Like so many other things in my life, I'm just jumping in. So let me go and find some sandpaper here in the shop. Shouldn't be much of a search. And get these ones cured, and we'll see about figuring out a pattern that might not make my life too crazy, although I'm thinking it will anyway. So, all right, I have these sanded, and already I'm looking at these patterns thinking, like there's some white paper. Like this one, I'm starting with that and I'm thinking, oh, that's a lot of burning. So I really don't know how this is going to work for me. But there we go. Okay. So to lay out your pattern, you want the flat side up. You want the print side down. And I just want to make my life a little bit easier. So I think I'm going to stamp this first, and then I will look at fitting just some branches up in between things so it looks like it's coming down from it and save me doing a little bit of masking. So I'm going to do this step first, and so I'm just going to take my little sheet and let it stick on there. So you want it so that when I flip this over, it'll stick. And I'm going to do this in the gray. So the stone gray ink from IOD. And I'm just going to zhuzh up my pad just a little bit. Just because I don't need it to be the black. I don't need it to be that harsh. I'm going to be wood burning. I just want to give myself guidelines to follow. Oh, this is busy. Yep. This could be one of those, oh my goodness, Cindy, what were you thinking? Ideas. Because sometimes you should start a little slower. Oh, I just slid everything. All right, don't do that. Okay. Oh, that looks lovely though. All right, so that turned out great. What I want to do now is just simply look at the rest of these pieces and see, you know, which of the elements, like these little berries, I could have just kind of drifting down and just, you know, extend my pattern down a little longer. This is the next layer, and then we'll see if I need more after this one. It's making me nervous already, and I haven't even started it. Where did I put this? I think there. All right. Goes over in the to be washed section. And I'm not having any that are kind of flowing in the direction I'd like them to. Okay, that one could go. Okay. All right, done with the stamps. You do, of course, then take those over, rinse them off, right? So that the ink doesn't stay on there permanently. That's our design. Holy smokes. I just have a tip, the chisel tip. I don't know, you know what, I really actually don't know how to do this. So I don't know how long it takes to burn. So I'm starting with the stem. All right, so first of all, I plugged in the glue gun instead of the wood burning tool. So I'm gonna let it get hot and let my glue gun cool down. Wrong plug. Let's give this a go. I'm just starting on a stem, seeing if I could do a line. Not so much. okay. It's burning. It's a little more challenging than I thought. I'm now cursing the detail in this. And certainly, if I need to change tips from this, then I have to kind of wait for things to cool down a little bit to do that. But it is burning. So my overhead camera is back at the house. So I'll do a little bit of this on my own today, and then I'll bring my camera for tomorrow and I'll show you overhead a little about what I've done and then carry on with you so you can see. Maybe I'll develop a little bit more skill before you see me. See how that goes. Okay, this is slow going. And I have a hard time not wanting to put my fingers closer. But all I'm doing, I've switched to the pointy tip, and you just slowly move it along with a bit of pressure for it to burn down in. Now, obviously, the harder you push and the slower you go, the darker it'll be. And you can leave it in spots longer. You can go over it to be able to burn it down in further. I was using this tip for these branches, but I was having a hard time getting it to do some of the detail stuff. So I let it cool down and switched it out to this finer tip, which I thought might be easier in some of that detail up top, but this is not a fast moving process. So let me share with you how this turned out. A couple of things about this. I finished it, lightly sanded it, and then I hemp oiled it. I just used Fusion hemp oil. It's food safe, so we could use this board for cutting or charcuterie or anything like that. What I am gonna do is I'm just gonna use it as some decoration for now. So to do that, I don't wanna glue anything directly onto the board. So I'm gonna put some ribbon there, and I'm just gonna glue onto the ribbon itself so that I can just cut the ribbon away. And to make this easiest, oh Lord, scissors. You'd think, there we go, there they are. Okay, so I'm just going to start by kind of catching this because I don't want to glue anything directly onto it. I have to start my ribbon and just kind of catch it. And then I'm just going to kind of wrap it tightly up along the top here. Because then when I go to finish it, I can just glue it to itself. Okay, I want to finish it in the back, and I happen to be there. So let me put a bit of glue there. And I'll just let that firm up and then cut the excess away. So what that does is it gives me an impermanent, non-permanent, temporary, gives me a temporary place to be able to attach additional greenery. So I have some little cedar boughs, and I have a little bit of pine, and I have a little bit of a pick and some acorns, and I'm just going to do some greenery coming down here, and you know, just a little bit for now, for the season. And then it allows me to be able to remove all of that easily after the season. I could put it away for next year and just use it seasonally, and that would be lovely, that would be fine. Or I could remove all of the greenery off of it and then just use it with no embellishments. Or I could add other seasonal embellishments and just switch it out as I go. It's nondescript, meaning it's just greenery and flowers. It's not Christmas. It wasn't like a wreath or anything. So I have a lot of flexibility with it. I don't have to keep it any one particular season at all. Oh, you're not my glue gun. And I like that idea. I like sometimes setting things up right from the start for them. And I just have to be able to hold these down with something, save my fingers. I like sometimes starting decor like this with the perspective of being able to change it out down the road. That you know, okay, it's not a permanent display. It's display for now, not necessarily for always. And if you start with that in mind, you build that flexibility in right from the start. So I'm just going to carry on getting some of these pieces glued in place. No big rhyme or reason. And then I'll come back and show you my finished project. Okay, there's our finished little cutting board. Now, it doesn't take much to just quickly zhuzh this up and just be able to use this either as a tabletop. I think this would be cute with a red pot on this end and a fir tree in it, you know, a little bit of a matching gingham bow tied around the pot. Standing up with some candles in front. I mean, whatever you've got going on with your decor. So I think this is really pretty flexible. The fact that I kept the florals kind of neutral with the wood burning means, again, I can switch this out as need be. The wood burning itself, okay, that was a little more challenging than I perhaps expected. I started to catch on as I went along. I could take that chisel tool on its side and just kind of move it quickly and do a little bit of shading. So I got a little bit better up here, a little fancier. And again, how hard you're pressing determines, and how slowly you go determines how deep and how dark the burn is. So I had fun with it. I don't know that I'm going to be doing tons of it, but the IOD stencils were an awesome way of doing this. I think maybe next year I may try the Portobello, unless they come out with something new that I have to do, and doing like a whole town and doing it sideways. I don't know. It does have a lot of possibilities to it, and it's making my brain hurt with ideas. So that pretty much means I kind of like it. I liked how it turned out, and it really wasn't that bad, and it was kind of fun to do. I definitely needed a guide, and that's where the IOD stamps kick in, or really any stamps that you happen to have. But it gave me a pattern to be able to follow, an idea to be able to do, and that helped tremendously. Let me know what you think of this one, guys. Let me know if you're thinking about trying. I'll put the link into the little tool that I bought off of Amazon, which was really with the intent of cutting deco mesh. But nice to know it's good for something else. Thanks for tuning in, guys. As always, looking forward to seeing you on the next one. And until then, take care.